Jeff, start with special teams. What do you see out of that group? New guys, old guys, mixture of those.
Yeah, with special teams just as a whole, I really think we made a lot of progress this summer. All of our newcomers, whether they be transfer or high school kids, we kind of put them through a crash course through our off-season agility and our summer work that we did, and got them caught up on what we call our Mountaineer techniques, all the techniques associated with special teams that are interchangeable within the units. And really excited about the group we have. I think we're, since I've been here going into year 3, we're going to have the most available body types that we need for the different components of all special teams. So I think they've done a really good job of embracing that, how we teach it here, our mindset here. And on top of that, the older guys, by far the best that we've had involvement with our older upperclassmen, our juniors, our seniors, our playmakers on both offense and defense, and how they've bought into special teams and what they're doing on teams. So excited about that. From a camp standpoint, we're definitely on track for all of our installs. I feel really excited about what we can do this year in all of our coverage units and return units. I think we'll be explosive in our return units. We'll have the opportunity to do that. And then our specialists have done a nice job so far this camp.
So of those specialists, start with punter, because obviously that seems to be competition.
Yeah, Ollie Straw, Colt McGee have been competing this camp. Both have similar skill sets, but obviously Ollie is probably has done more on the move, but Colton can do the same movement. So they're going back and forth. Both have showed the ability to really push the ball down the field with great hang time. We probably had more consistent hang time than we probably had in the past, even from both of them. So we're excited about that. So I'm looking forward to see kind of where the rest of this week takes them.
Kickoff, you went out and got a specialist there. So we see that Parker, and then Danny King looks like he's done some things there too.
Yeah, and in both cases, Ollie being a new guy and how Colton has worked in response, and then Parker coming in as an old guy, and how Danny has worked in response. Not to say those two guys weren't working, but competition brings out the best in everybody. We all know that, and they've embraced that. I'm excited about Danny and what he's got, but Parker's come in and he's shown why he's been able to kick at this level in the Power 5 setting, and we're excited about that. I think it's going to be a nice addition to our coverage units, our kickoff coverage unit.
Why do you feel he'll be more explosive in the return game?
Well, I think number one, in front of the returners. That's not just a returner comment. We have a lot of guys that we can put back there that we're excited about, but with what we've done on the back end of our kickoff return unit, and with the continuity with our back line and how they're setting up on blocks, I feel really confident in them in a multitude of different schemes. And then with our punt return unit and how it's tying into our punt return phase and how everything is tying in, and then with blocks on top of that too, I really feel like just the understanding of what we're trying to accomplish is the highest it's been in 3 years. And then bring in those newcomers that we just talked about, and we're going to be more athletic even on the front, and more depth with athleticism on the front lines where those blocks are occurring in space. So when you can make those blocks in space, now you have a chance to be really explosive when you can make those blocks in space.
I assume Switzer has added some ideas and stuff.
It's great to have him around and just be able to hear him from a coach's perspective and what he can, just through his experiences. It's been awesome.
So Neil has talked about putting a little bit more of an emphasis on special teams in this camp. So I guess my question is, how much really could you do in terms of more of an emphasis? Because is it more about, is there more scheme things that you can really do on special teams, or is it just more about getting your players ready up to where you want them so that they fit in on special teams?
Well, it's an investment in time, and you got to be willing to take the time. We don't have unlimited time. It's camp. We're in camp, so we have more time. But we invest time in special teams, and whether that's through a walkthrough setting or a meeting setting, we invest as much time on special teams as anyone in the country. I believe that, and our entire team understands that. And there's times when we're in here as a team and we're watching it. So the offensive linemen are in here watching special teams. The quarterbacks are in here watching special teams, and the buy-in is that creates an extremely high buy-in from everybody in the program. So that's even emphasized more this year than in past years, because that's always been the case. But we've done a good job, I believe, with that. Our team has done a good job with that. Heck, I think I pulled up a lineman at a special teams meeting last week, and I had him demonstrate a special teams technique Well, he knows it because he's been in here and he's listened to them. So that just shows to the younger guys in the back of the room, the freshmen, those guys coming in, how important it really is. When I can pull Zach Frazier up here and put him in a stance and he can do it right, like that says a lot.
So you've done this before. How much do you not know going in the first game? Because I imagine you don't do 11 on 11 live very often in terms of, kick coverage, kick return. I mean, do you do that at all? And how much do you not know?
No, yeah, I mean, no, we're covering full speed kicks. We're returning full speed kicks. We control the looks. There's probably a handful of things scheme wise that teams can do. And we kind of already have a preseason breakdown for the entire year of the things that we're going to see repetitively throughout the year. And those are the things that we'll do during camp before we start truly game planning for the first week. But we're going to put them in situations. Can you do it 100 times? No. But is there controlled work and 11 on 11 work where we're full speed? Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are. And that's how you find out if the young guys, the freshmen, the redshirt freshmen that are trying to make it in that travel bus, if they're ready to go, and then we still do the competitions. Y'all remember in the spring, we put an emphasis on the competition drills that we do where they're controlled atmospheres, but we can see if that young man is ready to make that block in space against a quality opponent. If that man is good enough to avoid that block or defeat that block in space, and we use those controlled settings as well.
Jim, how much of your ideas or plays changed on special teams?
Schematically? Yeah, with this early in the year, I'm probably not going to get into that, just in all respect, just because of the season coming on. We're going to, at the end of the day, for us in teams, we are going to be a technique unit at the end of the day in special teams. So I could draw it up on the dirt, but if I can tell that kid, hey, you got to get to this yard line and use this technique, he should be able to execute it. And we would never do that. But that's an example of the schematic part of it is really irrelevant if you got everybody working and doing the same techniques and doing exactly what they need to do with it.
It's on to linebacker, at least for me. So what have you seen? Again, blend of new, old.
Yeah.
So
I like where we left off from spring. I think at the end of the day, when you start camp, did you leave off where spring ended, or are you further along? And we were much further along through with what we were able to accomplish during the summer, and then getting into fall camp, much further along. We had more defense, more understanding of the techniques within it. Our eye control has been really good within our keys and our reads and our assignments this far in camp, 14, 15 practices in. So excited about the group as a whole. Lee has taken off where he left off. He's playing fast, he's playing physical, he's playing vocal. The communication's been really, really well. So he's been really good. I like where Lance Dixon, this has been his best camp out of 2 years. Much better understanding of his techniques within the scheme, where it fits, how where he needs to be in each play, and he's made a lot more plays because of it, and it's exciting about that. Excited how extra he battled to get back, and he's having a really, really good camp. And then Austin Cave has shown exactly what we were hoping for athletically, the skill set that he comes, and he's been a quick learner, so I'm excited about that.
X-Ray doing everything, or is he still?
Yeah, no, he's full go. It's been great to have him back.
Jeff, have you kind of tried to support you with like a backup, like a number 2 and push Kate in the spring? You've got two guys in here now that are able to kind of match and push. How was that spot?
Yeah, Tariq Austin Cave has worked at that spot. Him and Cave Advisor have worked there. And then young guy Trey Lathan has taken some reps there at Mike as well. So, kind of dual teaching him both spots, but he's taken predominantly reps at Mike. But Austin Cave has come in and had a really good camp. So I'm excited to see how he finishes the week, how much he progresses. Obviously, coming in later doesn't have as good an understanding as the amount of defense that Lee has, having been able to go through the spring. But I've been impressed with how he's picked it up, how quickly he's picked it up. And like I said, I'm excited about his skill set and what he brings. So.
One thing seemingly everybody talks about on the defense is speed. How true is that with the linebackers? Would you call this a speed group?
Yeah, I like how we run. I do, and I do think part of that, because I agree, we are playing fast. I think part of that too is understanding of where the fit is and where they work within relation to each other in the scheme, and understanding that so they can play faster. So you gotta have a fast guy, obviously, but you can have a fast guy that's processing and he's not getting the ball. And I think we've really progressed on that. So you know, skill set with that included, now you're excited about it. So yes, I have seen that.
Your voice is in pretty good shape. Is that an indication of how the guys are practicing?
I really tried to dial it down for you guys for this. Y'all would have heard me about 30 minutes ago. It was a lot different. So I can always count on you on that one.
Okay, anything else for Coach?
Thank y'all.
All right, thank you.